Hello, my name's Jacob and I'm the one writing the story, so my names will be me, I and my because this is written in first person. So, let me start the story, which is a adventure, so I should call it the How I Finally Done My New Year's Resolution adventure story, which I will start just in the sentence below. We were all sitting down in the assembly hall. Our head teacher, Mrs. Smallblop, who had a giant pointy sharp nose like one of those fish with swords on their nose, or are the swords their nose? Anyhow, we were back in school in January, and yes, you guessed it, it was the new year, 2021. So, I'm guessing you already know what our assembly was all about, the new year, as it is the new year. Our last assembly was about firemen and how they help our city, but really, they were just two useless people. The first fireman turned on the hose to show us how to stop a fire, if we ever wanted to be firemen like themselves, but there was too much water for one fireman to hold, and he let go and water sprayed all over us, which caused total chaos. So, I'm not sure I really want to be a fireman, if this is how they earn their living. By the way, this assembly was about our New Year's resolutions. New Year revolution! Yelled someone at the back. Silence, ordered Mrs. Smuglop as she explained to everyone what a New Year's resolution was. It's where you have a goal you want to achieve. I don't want to achieve a golf, yelled that boy again from the back. I was just annoyed as the person next was. Alright, out of this hall at once, ordered the head teacher, as the boy left. Served him right, I thought. So everyone, think of your own New Year's resolution. A New Year resolution, aha. I could achieve something I never achieved before. Maybe, just maybe, I could climb a mountain. Hiking was never my type. And yes, I'm going to achieve it. By the time I thought all of that, the hall was already empty. So, the next day, instead of laying in bed till 9, I woke up at 6:00. Okay, I admit I woke up a little later than that, and I grabbed a map from a pile of papers that were in the "we dump things here that we never see again" shelf. The mountain of the octopus with two SS. So I got out of the door, and then came back in again to get my coat and my bags full of stuff I would need, and then came back out again. And by the time I got to the mountain, I was already tired and hungry, so I went to the nearest gas station and got some food and drinks for the trip. And I started to climb. When you see mountains in movies, they're utterly really filling with snow, but the truth is, this was a mountain that didn't have any snow, 'cause this isn't a movie. I started to climb. And climb. And I stopped for a drink and some food. And climb. And fall. And get up onto my feet. And start climbing once again. And climb. And climb. And stop for sleep. And climb. And repeat. I finally stopped for a little camp in a small cave. When I finally woke up the next morning, I felt something really soft touch my leg, and when I opened my eyes, I realized I was cuddled up with a bear. I hesitated and slowly tried to escape, but the bear's paw was over me, so I couldn't really move. I tried to move the paw off me, but believe me, a bear's paw is so heavy that it's nearly impossible to put it off you. So I decided to wait till the bear woke up. Which it did, 2 hours later. Roar, roared the bear, and I really wondered if bears roar, but its paws were in the air with fright, so I made a run for it, and I glad I did, 'cause I'd probably be a lunch for a brown bear right now. And now I realized the movies weren't so liar pants on fire after all. The higher I went, the colder it got, so I wrote it down just to thank the movies for being right. This meant that at the very top there was lots of snow. Finally, at last, for such a long, long time, I had reached the top. Well, nearly, the top was just a tiny bit up. I can do thigh-sigh. I thought, if I managed to run away from a bear, I can definitely do this. So I made it true. I climbed and climbed until I had for long last reached the top. Something that was impossible finally came possible. I was so happy, I thought I would find it, and then go to heaven with a meaning for my life, and then I would be the best and. I felt so happy, so at the top of my voice I shouted. I done my New Year's resolution. Yes. 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 I started jumping, but still being careful not to fall down the mountain, and have unachieved my New Year's resolution at the very last minute. And it echoed into the distance, the shout that I shouted, not anything else. I jumped onto my back, so I could start doing snow angles on my back. Just then 2 webbed feet were caught at the corner of my eye, so I stood up and guess what I saw. Just guess. Actuary, the year's 2030, said a small, green alien with an eye on his head, and 1 leg, and 1 nose. Really he had no nose, but I just tried to make it seem like he had one of everything, 'cause that would have made sense. Oh snap! I cried. The cliffhanger end.